Can you guys hear us? Let me know because again we got the YouTube error. I don't know what's going on. Let me know. Can you guys hear us? Give me a one in the chat or something if you guys can hear us, see us. We are hoping that you can hear and or see us. Let us know. 10 viewers in the house. What's up? No sound. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Can you guys hear us now?
I can type in the chat too with my account.
Check. There it is. Okay, what's up, guys? What up, guys? How's it going? Well, that's Charlie's hentai app.
Oops, sorry about that.
Oh my god. What's going on, guys? Welcome. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. Welcome to the Tokyo Crypto Show featuring yours truly, Jonathan from Modern Life Dating, and the one, the only, Charlie from cultivatecrypto.com. What's going on, guys? What's going on, Charlie?
Yeah, it's going. We had ramen. That was good.
Yeah. We went to ramen. We had a little ramen, and it was good. Good to see everybody, guys. The phone lines are open now. If you got any questions, call in 657-383-1318. What's going on? Ray S. Yo, what up, Jonathan? This is Ray. We had a consultation. Ray, I know exactly who you are, brother. You're the guy, the Indian guy in New York. Yeah, I've been getting your emails. So, guys, after this, as usual, the webinar is going to be happening after our show today. So, if you're a body language mastery course student and you want to get into today's webinar after the show, send me an email right now at questions@modernlifedating.com. Right there in the chat, questions@modernlifedating.com. And you will be able to get in. The webinar is going live. The schedule is supposed to be group C. So that's Jack, that's Andy, Barrett, Edgar, Kevin, Lewis, and anybody else who wants to come in. I will also be posting the link in the private men's only Facebook group that we have going on. So for you guys that want to be in the webinar after today's show, just go ahead. What's going to happen is I'm going to end the show. I take a 30-minute break, and then I come back, and then we do the webinar, and it goes until it goes. So today we're going to be talking about the US dollar Tether coin, and the code for that is USDT. Myself and Charlie here have made a decent amount of profits using this technique. It's a very simple technique, very entry level technique, and I think that most of you guys in the audience are pretty smart guys. Like the guys that I have here, the core guys, are pretty above average intelligence. So I think that today's show, again, this is not financial advice, but I think by the end of today's show, given the training, because we're going to go pretty deep today, it's very easy, so don't get too intimidated, but you will be able to get information and theoretically get out there and make a little coin right now, because it is bear market time, and this is a strategy primarily for the bear market.
Exactly. So I guess we want to start with what is Tether, right?
Yeah, so what is Tether? You guys might be thinking, that's not the old sports game they used to play after school.
That was fun, though.
Yeah, Tether ball is a good old time. But yeah.
Kids in the face.
Tether is a good old strategy here, and that's how Charlie, I myself have I use Tether myself, and I guess let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, so basically Tether is what they call a stable coin, which means that it's stable compared to something else. In this case, it's called US dollar Tether. So it's stable compared to the US dollar, meaning every Tether is equal to $1 all the time.
Yeah. There may be like small fluctuations, like it may
course.
go down to like 98 cents or $1.05 maximum or something.
Yeah, it's the same as like a foreign exchange if you're comparing currencies. So when you look at like yen to dollars, of course the yen is going to be a lot more fluctuating, right? So this is actually the most stable that you can theoretically get in a market.
Okay, and then David Egan, I got your email. You are locked in for the seminar, the webinar after today's show, 100%. So when the show finishes, 30 minutes after that moment, we're going live. You're going to get a Google Hangouts link sent directly to the email that I've sent to you, Mr. Egan. Look forward to meeting you, sir. You are a great guy. I appreciate all your emails. But yeah, so basically Tether is pretty much always $1, right?
Yes.
So why would anybody want to buy a coin that's always the same price?
So that's to save your money or to protect your money against the coins that are falling down, right?
Right.
So Bitcoin, starting from December 2017 until basically now, has been in what they call like a free fall.
Yeah.
Right. Of course, it's not been in total free fall. It has its bounces.
Right.
But the first impression that most people get about cryptocurrency these days is, oh shit, it's going down. And that's the same in every bear market. Everybody always says, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. But then when you look, after the future, it always increases past that last price.
In Bitcoin. In Bitcoin's history, right?
Exactly.
So what's going to happen this time? Bitcoin's going to zero for sure, right?
Oh, of course.
That's what Rob
We're all
says.
dead.
Rob from Twitch says Bitcoin's a scam.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned in my own show yesterday that we want people to think like that.
Yeah.
We don't want everybody to think like that because, of course, people who are privy or who understand the market,
right.
We want them to be with us. But in terms of the general population,
yeah,
it's better that people are a little bit negative towards Bitcoin because that gives us time to get more.
Yeah, I mean, for you guys, some people want to say like you can't do anything with Bitcoin. Just the little play. Here's just put it in like simple hot dude terms. All right, I took a little bit of change last year, about $1,000, and I invested into 2 coins. And using one coin and US dollar Tether coin, I was able to 4x my Bitcoin holding in 1 year, just passively.
How many times did you have to press the trade button? Like a couple?
Theoretically 2 times in 1 calendar year.
Easy, right? So.
And then now I'm gonna take that Bitcoin and buy a brand new iPhone XS Max, the big one. It's like $1,000, but it's for free. I'm getting it completely for free.
Yeah, you still have stuff left over. For
sure. So I'm getting completely for free. And as you guys know, I'm a meme lord, and I'm always posting shit on the internet with my phone. A phone is a critical part of my business, and I'm getting a free phone 100% for free. So
yeah, I like Wasted John's comment. It's almost like it's tethered to the net value of the dollar. Exactly. That's why they called it that, of course. But yeah, no problem for not being able to resist. That's good. So yeah, I think that's the basics of what Tether is.
Yeah.
So what we want to get into today is how to do this strategy, which actually that will be the second point that we make. The one thing that you do want to know about anything related to cryptocurrency is, what are the things to have in the front of your mind as the risk. And so there has been a lot of controversy related to Tether, but it is still the most widely used stablecoin. So we'll show both sides. We're not biased only towards one point of view. We do want to show both sides. So let's get to that.
Yeah, and then Nabil in the Instagram chat said that like, holy cow, like that's a great ROI, which is return on investment. Yeah, I invested like a little. Like I said, I invested about $1,000. And it doubled in US dollar value, but in Bitcoin value, it 4x'd.
And doubling in US value as Bitcoin was falling down, right? So
yeah,
the fact that you can make money, as it's going down, is the beauty of this strategy.
Yeah.
And you didn't even watch it most of the time. You just kind of just let it ride.
Like that one thing. That chicken cooking machine, set it and forget it.
Yeah. I need George Foreman or something out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. And so doubling or tripling or quadrupling your net value of whatever you put in is actually not that difficult with this strategy. You can actually do a lot better. It depends on how in tune with the market you are. So yeah, but let's talk a little bit about the controversy. Around Tether first.
Yeah.
So let's go to the screen share.
Okay, so let's see what we got here. And Ray Singh, you're locked in for the webinar after as well. I got you. You're good to go. All right, so we're going to go here to right here.
Yeah, so really the only thing we need to see in this article is just the title of the article. So Tether confirms its relationship with auditor has dissolved. And you can see the date there of actually January 27th, 2018, so a little over a year ago. And this was kind of interesting. At this point, everybody was just starting to freak out about the price of Bitcoin. So this is part of the news which we call FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Yeah.
And yeah, that happens a lot in the Bitcoin markets. So it's not something that's unusual, but I think people blow these things a little bit out of proportion. So this one is actual news. I'll talk about a couple of the other things which are more like speculation, but this was actual news. So legitimately, they did release their auditor. Why is that important? Basically, Tether says that it is every $1 that they have in Tether means they have $1 of the same value in actual US dollars.
Yeah. And when it says relationship with auditor, what is auditor?
So an auditor is somebody who's from a different company, maybe a company like KPMG.
What's KPMG?
So they're like, they do like tax auditing, finance auditing.
Okay.
They go in and they are a third party or a different company that comes into your company and looks at all of the financial records and the books to make sure that you aren't cheating the government or you're not cheating your customers.
And then Tether got rid of their relationship with their auditor.
Yeah, so which means they don't trust anybody outside of their company looking at their books.
Smart move. As a business move, it's a smart move, I would say.
Yeah, it's not, it's something that reduces trust slightly, but it's not something that, kills them. Everybody's still using them, right? I think CZ from Binance also had a few tweets around this time supporting Tether because there's just sometimes there's things in these companies that they can't say fully in public,
right?
Because of different anonymity and information just can't be always shared out in the public. And I think because this industry is still relatively young, they're getting used to how to do that compared to like for example JP Morgan. They know how to talk to the media to make things look great, but then they get caught for money laundering, right?
Right.
So you only can believe so much what you hear in the news. But anyways, that's just one example of what was out there. Then I think this one here is the other real news which came out, which was the end of 2018, but also this particular article was published recently. Just yesterday. But the quote here under is Tether backed 1-to-1 by the US dollar just says now they changed their wording, which some people call like legalese, just the legal language. So every Tether, it says here, around here, every Tether is always 100% backed by our reserves. So they used to say by dollars. But this says, which include traditional currency and cash equivalents from time to time may also include other assets. So they used to say it was only backed by dollars. Now they say it's backed by other assets and dollars. So it's not a huge change. They still are backing it.
Right.
So they do have collateral for all the money that is out in the market, which is around $2 billion. But they are diversifying, which I don't think is really that big of a deal, but a lot of people are like, when they see news like this, they freak out pretty quickly.
Yeah, the financial market is so fucking skittish.
Oh yeah.
So like one drop of bad news and people drop out.
Yeah. So those are the two news pieces which I think everybody should know about Tether when they use it. The only reason why I mention this is because you don't want to keep your money in Tether long term.
Right.
So you only want to use this strategy over the course of like 3 months or 6 months.
So yeah. So then basically for you guys that might be getting lost, basically it's like this, okay? Let's say you buy one Bitcoin, right? And you buy it and Bitcoin is at $500.
Yep.
And then Bitcoin goes up to $1,000. You can sell your Bitcoin and trade it for US dollar Tether coin. And now you have $1,000. And let's say the next day Bitcoin drops to $100. You still have your $1,000, because instead of holding on to the Bitcoin, which value is always fluctuating, you are able to keep your money. Then you can sell the US dollar Tether coin for actual US dollars and take it out.
Yeah, or you could put it back into Bitcoin, and then that's how you compound your cryptocurrency.
Right. And then you want to strategically, basically it's coming in and out of Bitcoin at a certain price. You're collecting, you're basically, you're in, your Bitcoin grows up, and then when you know that it's going to drop, you pull out, and it drops back down, and then maybe the price drops down to 100, and then you take your $1,000 because you know the Bitcoin price is going to go back up. So then you buy $1,000 of Bitcoin when Bitcoin drops to 100. Before you had 1 Bitcoin, now you have 10. And let's say then you have 10 Bitcoin, and from 100 it goes to 1,000. Then you sell. Then now you have $10,000.
Exactly, and let's give a visual on that too. So the exact same thing that Jonathan just said. If you look at Ethereum here, so let's say at this point here, Ethereum is $500, and you have 1 Ethereum that you sell for 500 USD Tether, so $500. Then you decide to pick it up here, let's say around 250, something like that. That means if you buy back into Ethereum, you still are buying back in with your original $500, but now you just doubled. You went from 1 to 2 Ethereum, which is exactly what you explained in the last example, just with Bitcoin. But I think sometimes the visual helps as well. So yeah, it's something that is, not a complicated strategy, I think.
No, not at all. So like here, I'll give you a very simple example too. So let's say you bought one Ethereum here at $800, right? And then you knew that in the future it was gonna drop to 100, and let's just say $120 right now, right? So you sell here at $800. You sell your 1 Ethereum, and now you have 800 US dollar Tether coins, and one of those coins is worth $1. So technically you have $800, and then Ethereum starts falling. You see, if you would have stayed in, your 1 Ethereum's value would have gone to 525 here in this case, right?
Yes.
And then, but since you sold here, you have 800.
So you're protecting your money.
Right, and you have 800 here, so you're totally set. And then, let's say, so now we're down here to, let's just say 130. So now you're going to buy back in, and then you have more Ethereum. So technically, you still have the same amount of US dollars.
Exactly.
But you have more coins. And if you're expecting the market to boom up eventually, which Charlie and I are, then in the future, let's say a year or two down, I think by next year we're going to start seeing the beginning of the bull run.
Definitely.
And then from next year, let's say this whole year you just buy, you buy at 800 and then you sell, then you have a bunch more here. And then let's say you figure out it's going to drop down to $30. So then you sell it again, and then it goes down to 30, and then you buy more. And then instead of having 1 Ethereum, by the time you get down to here, you have like maybe, I don't know, let's just
8 to 10.
Maybe, yeah, even more. If it drops down to like 30, you'll have like close to like, 25.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Ethereum's all-time high was what, $1,000?
15 or 1600, something like that.
So let's just say, for simple math purposes, let's say Ethereum goes up.
We can see here, yeah, 1600.
Yeah, so let's just say for simple math purposes, you acquire 25, and your initial purchase price was $800. So you initially purchase $800. You have an Ethereum coin. You trade it all the way down to the point that you get 25, and then when it goes up to 1,000, you sell it all right there, and then you have $25,000
for an $800 investment.
Right, and all you're doing is just reading the news and clicking your keyboard.
Over the course of a couple of years, you just make a few clicks.
And it's like, again, it's like nothing. You don't want to get don't get too overwhelmed with this, but at the same time, it is a good skill set to have. I would say, like, I'm not like some, like, Charlie here is the fucking genius at cryptocurrency. Like, between the two of us, I know where I am ranked in this, and Charlie, I don't know if you want to talk about how much you.
So I mentioned this on the show yesterday because
Charlie started his own live show, by the way, but
yes,
an hour before mine starts.
Yep. So I think, what time does yours start?
9 a.m. Eastern.
Right. So mine would be 8 a.m. Eastern on the States side, which is good because the crypto markets start getting hot around like 7, 8, 9 a.m. Most days. But one thing I mentioned in my show yesterday is I do want to make sure to not mention too many details about how much I have and how I hold it.
Right.
Simply because there was a case in Russia. I think it was last year or the year before.
Oh,
Did you hear about that guy?
Yeah, that guy got waxed.
Yeah, 6 months after he put out a video like bragging about how much money he made in crypto and actually showing some cash that he took out after exchanging his crypto, he was murdered.
Yeah.
So, just saying.
So yeah.
You know, you want to be a little bit anonymous in this game. So don't tell people, exactly what you're doing in terms of what you made and also how you store it. Because there are ways to store it where even if the government comes to you, they can't get it out. They can't take it away from you because you don't physically have it. So if you do that type of strategy, which we'll probably get to in a later show, then you don't have to worry about that. And just don't go out there, being crazy and telling, showing boatloads of cash in front of people, because that's just stupid.
And Winston Wolf says he has the title of Charlie's 7th subscriber. So.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw that yesterday. Thanks, Winston. Yeah. Well, he has more than me. He has 19. I saw on his thing. So
good.
Yeah,
good,
I got some work to do.
Yeah, he's champion. So basically, so I'll just use my example forever because I already liquidated it and nobody's robbing me for my small amount of money. But basically, I invested. I did this between BNB coin, which is Binance coin, and US dollar Tether. So I took some profit that I made from Bitcoin, and I converted the Bitcoin into Binance coin. And then Binance coin looked like it was going to drop based off of me reading the charts and everything and the way the market was going last year.
Yep.
So I sold all my Binance coin into US dollar Tether. And then the price of Binance coin dropped, and when it got to a point that I was comfortable with, I bought more. So I had like 100 coins, and then it dropped, and I was able to get like 30 to 60 more. So I forget how much it was. And then, as you guys see recently, Binance coin has gone up to like $16, almost $16, and that's where I sold. And I said, I just made a little coin. I didn't make anything crazy. I just made like a little over $1,000 in profit. And I got free money, and I'm gonna go buy an iPhone, which is gonna be, even if you're just happy, happy-go-lucky guy, you just want to buy some free technology stuff to make yourself happy. I'm just buying a new iPhone because it's gonna be a business investment because I do a lot of Instagram stuff too. So basically, I get to invest into my business 100% for free based off of this simple knowledge that I have. So if you're a businessman and you're not only here just trying to get laid, which you guys know. Like I preach about being the total package, like having your money right, having your muscles right, having your game right. I mean, we got the money man here, so that's how this strategy can be useful for the average kind of guy. Like, you don't need to be a technical genius. If you can operate a computer and look at a chart and just like kind of have general knowledge, you can make it happen.
And that's what scares everybody at first, right? They think, oh, I have to do like every skill set of crypto in order to make money. You don't.
Right.
You just have to be, competent to use a smartphone.
What's Charlie's channel? Andy wants to know. Andy in Toronto.
Yeah, so BK from the Rockies, thanks for mentioning that Cultivate Crypto is right. Let me I'll just type it into the chat here. Let's see if I can get it on here. I think.
Yeah, right there. You should be good to go.
Follow.
And I'll just read see what's going on in the chat here. Privateer Solutions, you're new. What's going on?
Yeah, I think there's a couple good questions I want to take in here too.
Yeah, just click on Cultivate Crypto's link. He's him and Pine are the only moderators in my channel. So Pine is the seduction guy. He does a lot of, I'm teaching Pine directly every day with my private coaching with him. And then the other guy is Cultivate Crypto. That's Charlie right here. If you ever see him in the chat, I 100%, agree with everything he does. So you can just click on his stuff and you'll be good to go. But yeah, let's see what some of the questions we have here.
Around here.
I think he said, what is the best app for investing in crypto? Privateer Solutions.
So to buy your crypto, your first crypto, we recommend Bread Wallet, which we're wearing. BREAD, like the food. The coins abbreviation is BRD, but you don't need to use the coin to use the app. The reason why we recommend Bread Wallet is because you actually own your crypto on that, and then also they don't keep your personal information.
Yeah, you can 100% anonymously do everything through the application. You're completely safe.
Yeah, it's so easy that even your grandmother can do it as long as she knows how to use a smartphone.
Yep.
So it's super simple. So that's the best onboarding. And then for trading, I would say Binance.
Yeah.
So once you get to that level, then you want to move your coins over there. Not all of them, but the ones you want to trade. So yeah, and I think there was something related to that somebody mentioned. Or should we just go down the list here?
Wasted John says, would you say Tether is the best coin to hold on an exchange for an easy transition to major coins such as BTC and ETH?
So we are actually, when we were looking at Binance Coin, Binance does not have a direct from Binance to Tether, right?
Right.
All of the exchanges have direct from Bitcoin or Ethereum to almost every other coin. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are the best to own to make fast transactions between coins.
Yeah.
But if you want to, kind of like you're saying, kind of get out, put in, get out, put in to kind of protect your capital, it's just kind of a weird way to say it, but kind of like the hokey pokey, take in, put out. It's the best. I would say Tether is kind of the surface level, and then you have Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then you have everything else.
Right.
The reason why we use Tether and not, like on Coinbase, you can actually take out into actual US dollars. But in crypto, once you take out of a cryptocurrency into a different asset, which is the US dollar, then it becomes a taxable event.
Right.
So as long as you stay in crypto, which Tether is,
just so you're not paying taxes on losses and stuff. Because
Exactly.
even if you lose a bunch of money, but you take it out into dollar, then you have to claim that as a taxable event, and then you gotta.
It just gets too much.
And you're paying money for your losses, and you're like getting angry and everything.
Well, you have to go through the rules in order to make sure that you're not paying. But that gets overly complicated, especially if you're playing with small amounts. If it's under $1,000, then you don't really need to worry about that aspect of it so much. But that's one of the main reasons. So I would say it's that with Ethereum and Bitcoin are the three coins that are easiest and quickest to move between other coins. Anything else here?
Let's see. What's Charlie's channel? You might be able to hide your money from the government, but not from a couple of hard pipe hitters with a pair of pliers and a blowtorch, so be discreet. Yeah. Let's see. Just go to his channel when you click on his username. Yep. You have an 8th subscriber. Awesome. Welcome, Andy.
Thanks, Andy.
Oh boy, taxes is my favorite. Tax is my favorite. Greg B. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's what we recommend. And like again, like number 10, I guess. Oh, so you got privateer solutions.
Perfect.
So okay, yeah. So yeah, and that's the thing. And here's the thing, guys. So if you guys want to learn this stuff, Tokyo Crypto Show is a joint venture between us, but at the end of the day, as a businessman, it would just be better for me to have only Charlie come on my show. But I truly think that he has a lot to give to you guys, and so I actually urged him. I was like, dude, I told him you need to go buy a computer, build it, and you need to fucking start doing this shit every day, because there's so many shitty people out there giving advice too.
Yeah, well, I think a couple of the guys had mentioned to us, they're like, thanks for giving legit and unfiltered advice.
Right.
Which, you go out and you see other crypto guys, especially people who don't put their name behind, they don't put their face in front of a camera. They only type on the keyboard and they don't actually put a name. They're just like behind an avatar.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys I've found, especially on Twitter, they say like, hey, buy this altcoin, buy this altcoin, buy this altcoin when it's at an all-time high or at a terrible time to buy it. And then they do that to try to pump the market with whatever little power they have, right? It's not like a huge market. But then they sell their coins when they're telling everybody to buy, which I think is total bullshit. Sorry, about my French, but I think
you could say fuck.
No,
here.
I know. I just I've done that. I just wanted to say that, but no, it's just like those types of people are the type of people that crypto actually doesn't really want, but are going to come because money is involved. So we try to just keep it real and just say how we think about it. But that's why I also mentioned the controversy related to Tether, because I think you have to know both the good and the bad.
Yeah. Mr. Jackson has a question. He says, Charlie, at my level, should I buy Ethereum or stick with BTC?
Stick with Bitcoin.
Yeah, always, in my opinion, always, Bitcoin is king.
Yeah, it's king.
Bitcoin is king.
Everything follows Bitcoin. So I would say stick with Bitcoin for about 2 to 3 months. And once you start making profits, then you can start thinking about Ethereum. Ethereum is a very good number 2 coin. So it is something that you can think about. Actually, my first coin was Ethereum, but that was because I got a tip from somebody who was already in crypto for several years. And that was at just a specific timing. But then I wanted more Bitcoin than Ethereum anyway, so I went more heavily into that. So yeah, keeping it simple, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Once you make profit, Ethereum.
Yeah. I personally believe that every man that wants some sovereignty in his life, just to feel safe and comfortable about this aspect in your life, I feel like every man should own at least one Bitcoin.
Yep.
Just know and actually own it. Have it in a hard wallet, not on a fucking exchange somewhere. Mm-hmm. Actually have one Bitcoin. And I think honestly, Bitcoin is going to go pretty... I can't say. I still don't fully know, but if 20,000 was the last high, Jesus fucking Christ, where is the next high going to go to?
Yep.
So I personally hold on to Bitcoin because at least one, knowing that I would really be kicking myself. Like some of you guys won't buy into this, and that's fine. This is what it is. But in my opinion, Bitcoin's going to go pretty high in like 2020, 2021, when the halving happens. We should do an episode on that next.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about. But, at the end of the day, I feel more at peace in myself knowing what I know about the internet, where I know humanity is trending and everything. I feel more at peace with one Bitcoin.
Yeah. And then once you get your one Bitcoin, then you're like, well, I'd feel even more at peace with 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and at these prices, the interesting thing, which I was talking a little bit about on my show yesterday, was, there's 4 ways to earn cryptocurrency or to get cryptocurrency: mining, buying, trading, and earning.
Right.
Earning is far out in the future when the price is stable.
Right.
Mining is basically only industrial level right now.
Yeah.
So buying or trading, or buying and trading, probably is the best combination, will be the best way to earn crypto. So right now, when the prices were like sub 1,000, it was still okay to mine.
Right.
Because it was cheap. But now the prices to get below 1,000 is going to take a lot.
But
it's going to be very challenging. So that's why, buying and trading is going to be the way that you get to that one Bitcoin if you don't have what the price is today, which is about $4,000.
Right. But at the same time, if you are in a situation somehow where you're not paying your electricity bill.
Oh, of course.
If you're not paying your electricity bill and you can buy a mining rig, a mining machine, like some guys live in the military and they have free access to electricity, or they're just constantly staying at hotels and they're bouncing from hotel to hotel, everything's paid for. You can bring that little mining rig with you, plug it in while you're there, 2-3 days, 2-3 weeks, whatever, you're not paying for electricity. That's a good passive way to just plug in something and literally plugging something into the wall and generating money.
Yep. And I mentioned that on my show yesterday too. There's a principal in China who did that, got away with it for 6 months at his school. So,
good old Chinese.
That's the way to go.
Masculine mentality says, this man clearly knows a lot, so a show of his own would be filled with knowledge. You got a subscriber.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, if you guys can click like too, we got 15 viewers and then 7 likes. If you guys can just kind of even that out, let me know if you can do that or not. That would be great. A lot of people don't tune into this show on my channel. It's not necessarily the most popular thing because everybody's trying to get laid. But, guys, if you have a lot of money, out of nowhere, bitches will be start showing up. Like, hey, heard you made some money with Bitcoin.
Well, okay, I want to go on that subject a little bit because there's some hilarious stories, right, in Bitcoin. So just back in like 2012, 13, 14, around that time is kind of right after the last bull market in 2013, or not the last one, but that time's one. A lot of people were kind of down on Bitcoin, kind of similar to how they are now. They're like, oh man, the price just dropped so much, and they kind of get scared, right? And so a lot of guys who are into crypto, especially mining, you know, their girlfriends were saying, hey, get rid of that machine. It's making too much noise, all this kind of stuff. And they broke up with the girlfriend and they kept mining. And then 4 years later during the 2017 bull run, you know, those girls come back and like, hey, like, you still got some of that Bitcoin?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
oh, yeah.
You know.
It's funny as hell, man. No.
You had people do that to you, too.
I had people coming out because, you know, like when we worked in our office, I was telling everybody, like before Bitcoin hit 20,000, I would say I'm kind of responsible for you buying a lot of Bitcoin.
For sure.
Because I was telling everybody, guys, this fucking Bitcoin thing is going someplace. Like, I saw it happening in May, and I don't have, like, Charlie has way surpassed me now in knowledge overall. And so I just knew, like, in May of 2017, I was watching the charts, watching the price, reading the news every day. I was like, this fucking thing is nonstop. Like, this thing is going up. And I was telling everybody, and everybody's like, oh, you're fucking crazy, man. Like, what are you, gay? Like, you know, it's internet money. This is a scam, blah, blah, blah. And then the one person who, like, was like, hey, this guy's making some sense over here. Like, it was Charlie.
Yeah. There was two reasons for that. One, you know, I've been interested in Bitcoin since 2012-ish, and I have one small coin, which is now a total shitcoin. It's worth nothing, but it kind of taught me about the cryptocurrency game.
Right.
And then two, about 5 months before we really started talking about it, my father, who had been in it for quite a while, he just like sent an email to everybody in our family that said, hey, you got to get on some of this stuff because this year's going to be nuts. In early 2017, and I didn't believe him at first. And then when I went home for a vacation, I saw some, and I'm like, okay, I'll get in a little bit. And then it 4x'd within 3 months.
That was your Ethereum.
Yep, that was my original Ethereum. And then once it 4x'd, that's when I met you.
Yep.
And then you were talking that stuff, and I was like, well, this makes sense because I've already seen some profits.
This douchebag is making some sense over here.
I really liked you after that. But, you know, I think you're the type of person where there's a facade, but, you know, behind it, you're also a very intelligent man.
Right.
So when you started talking about that, I wasn't really looking, I was listening. You know, I think actions speak louder than words, and, you know, that kind of thing. And when we actually went and met Vitalik as well, that was a different thing. So it's kind of a no-brainer in 2017. When it's in a bull market, it's almost too easy to make money.
And then remember all those people talking shit in the office? What were they saying in December? Nothing.
Well, they were buying.
Yeah, they were buying Bitcoin at 20,000. We're just like, this is not the time. This is not the time. This is the sell time.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's just kind of the story in a nutshell, which will happen again.
Yeah.
And once it does happen again, the same type of pattern will go out. And
this show's gonna be lit. Our chat's gonna have like 5 million people in it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that. So we got some work to do.
Yeah, we do. We're laying it down. John says, we are expecting another drop in BTC, correct? I saw that it broke 4, and but I might have to wait for another drop before I get in.
Yeah, so can we share the screen once real quick?
Yeah,
and I can kind of show a little bit about that.
Where we want to go?
The ETH USD.
This one?
Yep.
Okay.
And then just share the screen.
Yeah, let's see. Okay.
And then I'm going to shift this. I think this will come up, hopefully. So cool, this still is saved. Ooh. I gotta change this up here. There we go. Dun-dun-dun. So this is not a technical analysis. This is just simply levels to watch for in the current market. And so a few of the people who've done consultations and one-on-one chats with me have seen this.
And where can they get those consultations from you?
So they can go to my website, which is www.cultivatecrypto.com.
Good.
Sign up for my email list. And then once you're signed up for my email list, I offer everybody to join in a consultation after basically for me to understand where you are in cryptocurrency, and then we can talk more there. But I'll keep it super simple, which is the price is currently here at $4,000. We're steadily going up, which is good. But basically one candle here is 1 week. One of these things is 1 week of price action. And so we have quite a lot of green here, which is good in the short term, but means there's probably going to be a few red ones coming up, right? So Wasted John, you're right. The price here looks to be kind of stalling out a little bit. But I put some lines here to watch out for, yellow, red, and green. Green meaning if we get above 4,200 or 4,500, at least in the short term, that's very positive, because coming in early April, wherever the price is, I won't go into detail here. I'll do that on my channel. But this cycle every 60 days roughly gets a bump up. So if the price is here at 4,200 around early to mid-April, it will likely get a bounce up at that point. But I'm expecting it to come down a little bit. So some levels where we get support are around 3,600 and around 3,100, which was the previous low here. So if we keep those levels, that will be somewhat positive for the timing over here, but we'll also get that bump. In a worst case scenario, then we go down pretty harsh from here, down from 4,000 down to 2,500 and 2,000, which is possible in the next couple of weeks. I don't expect to go that far, but if we do, then it does mean we're very much still in a negative downtrend, which then this US dollar tether strategy would be great to use for that. But I wouldn't start trying that strategy until we get a couple of red candles here to kind of confirm that we are falling. That's where we are.
So let's say you own 1 Bitcoin now, right? And then you notice that it's going to drop to 2,500. So then you just sell your Bitcoin. You have 4,000 US dollar tether coins, and then it goes down to 2,500, or let's say it just goes down to 2,000.
For easy math,
yeah. So it goes down to 2,000, and you buy the Bitcoin back. Now you have 2 Bitcoins.
Yeah.
And the value is still the same, right? It's still 4,000 US dollars.
Exactly.
But theoretically, if the Bitcoin continues to drop, then you can lose money.
Right, but having the cushion, so it depends if you're counting your profits in crypto or in dollars.
Right.
Right. So if you're counting your profits in crypto, which is what I do in my channel because I'm cultivating crypto, I'm not cultivating dollars. You do cultivate dollars eventually, but the first goal is to get crypto because the bounce will come, and when it comes, you'll be making profit.
Right.
So
exponential profit.
Oh yeah, it gets good.
Yeah.
If it drops to 2,000, let's say, and you buy back in, and you have 2 Bitcoin. Let's say it keeps dropping down somewhere around here to like 1,500. Okay, you still have your 2 Bitcoin. You don't want to think in dollars at this point, but you want to wait for, okay, when does this next push up come? And if it comes within April, which is what we would expect, then if that bounce happens, say here at like the end of April at 1,600, then it only takes, not that long a time, maybe half a month to get back up. And once you're up above 2,000, you're making profit. Whereas if you just held the Bitcoin at 4,000, you would have to wait for the price to come all the way back up to 4,000 to be making a profit.
Right.
So through this US dollar tether strategy, it's protecting your dollars as much as you can, because you can't predict exactly how low it will go. You will never catch the bottom.
Right.
But it makes, if it does go down, then the amount it has to go back up to make a profit is much lower.
Right.
So
good.
That's that.
Let's check the chat, see if we got any questions. Is this making sense to you guys? Is this overwhelming for you or what? Michael Zarate, what up, baby? In at 3:30. Zarate, that picture is golden. We love it. I feel like Aviator, a smug Pepe emulates me the most. Cultivate. And Emma, where can you exchange for Tether?
On Binance.
So you can't go from Bitcoin directly to...
You can, from Bitcoin directly to Tether, but not from Binance coin.
Okay, so I wanted to change my Binance to Tether. So I sold my Binance coin and I bought Bitcoin, and then I sold my Bitcoin and I bought Tether, and that took me like less than 5 minutes. Just click, 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 click.
Yep, exactly. A dream of mine is to get a sugar mama to pay me in crypto during the bear markets. I like it. Yeah, so I think that's probably the main strategy for this. The one thing I do want to mention in addition is so this is a way to cultivate crypto in a down market. I think a lot of people had asked, in the market, how do you make money when the market's going down? This is probably the best way to stay bullish on Bitcoin long term, but in the short term, you're protecting your money. Whereas there's a different strategy which I don't agree with, which is actually shorting Bitcoin. And shorting Bitcoin means you literally open a contract to bet against Bitcoin. So for example, if your Bitcoin is at $10,000 and you say, I will bet $10,000 that Bitcoin will go down to $1,000. If it does, you make a lot of money.
Yeah.
A shit ton of money. But the problem is if Bitcoin does what Bitcoin usually does and goes against the trend, and that doesn't work for you, by shorting and having especially leverage with that shorting, actually using money you don't have to short, is very dangerous. A lot of people lost all of the money they put into crypto through that type of strategy. Even though this is going out of Bitcoin for a short period of time, I do not recommend shorting Bitcoin.
Adam Simmons has a good question. He says, is Coinbase good for a beginner?
So my main answer would be no.
No.
But it is convenient.
It is convenient, but Coinbase... Can you trade on Coinbase? You can just buy, right?
You can trade. They have a Coinbase Professional, which is called GDAX, GDAX.
Yeah.
But I don't believe they have US Tether. They just have USD, which means once you take out into dollars, then you're technically taxable.
Yeah, it's a taxable event, and then you don't want to be accumulating all these extra taxes and headaches if you're trying to accumulate a mass amount of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and the key thing about Coinbase, because the leader of the company is a respectable person. Of course, they have Charlie Lee used to be working at the company. So there are positive points about it, but the biggest kind of red flag for me is the U.S. government went and asked them for people's information that were trading on their exchange, and they had to give them 20,000 names and information of users on their account. And whatever the U.S. government's going to do with that information, who knows? Maybe they track people, maybe they audit people, or who knows? But
Right.
It kind of goes against everything crypto stands for in terms of anonymity.
Yeah. Just sovereignty as a man, as a person. But Binance doesn't do that, right?
No.
Yeah.
So Binance gives you the option to give them your information, just don't do it.
Yeah. I like Binance the most, honestly. And we're not even sponsored by Binance, right?
Oh, hell no.
I just really like Binance.
Yeah.
There's so many coins on there. It gave me some coins for free too, the engine coins.
yeah. I think we got $15 of free engine coins, and they're blasting off right now.
Yeah. So I mean, it may seem overwhelming, but just take baby steps, and if you can just slowly get yourself into this kind of thing. I started in December 2016.
Yeah.
From watching, I was watching an anime, and they were talking about what you can do with cryptocurrency. And then I was like, "What? Are you serious?" And then I started looking, because I knew what Bitcoin was, but I bought my first Bitcoin when it was $800, and even now Bitcoin's at 4,000. So even if I were to offload now, I would made a pretty decent profit for doing nothing, just clicking the keyboard.
Yeah, which tells you the entry point is probably the biggest advantage you can get in crypto, right?
And what's an entry point?
So an entry point is when do you buy most of your coins that you hold.
And why does when you
just
buy?
the example that you just gave,
it's
right?
related to the price, right?
Yes.
So the entry point is the price you get your cryptocurrency at. So if you can get a good entry point, you buy something cheap, and then all of a sudden, it goes up pretty high, and you sell, then you just walk away with free money.
Exactly. And Mr. Jackson put in a good question. So as a rookie, would it be feasible to buy USD Tether and exchange it for Bitcoin at its lowest point? So the answer is yes, and this is how you would do it. So you would originally go onto your exchange. Well, you'd go on, let's say, go onto Bread Wallet, and you buy $1,000 of Bitcoin. Then you send that to Binance, and on Binance you sell that $1,000 of Bitcoin into USD Tether. So you got 1,000 USD Tether. Then you're ready. Basically, you have at the click of a button, you can make a decision at any point. And so you have the ability to then use that Tether to buy Bitcoin in at a lower price point, which you just mentioned. And then once you have that, you can move it back to Bread Wallet, or you can keep it wherever you like.
Right.
Yep. So in other words, yes.
Yeah. And that's why I like using Binance. So what else you got for us next year?
That's pretty much it, I think. Are there any other topics? I think that off of that you think would be important to know about. I think one other thing, I guess, would be if you want to take a look at the coin market cap, I can show you why USD Tether is better than other stable coins, other coins that are compared to the US dollar.
So right now, one US dollar Tether coin is $1.01, right? So here we can see, was this during the bear market, or this was during the big offloading? No, it wasn't. This was during the uploading. Wow.
Yeah, there was a FUD. Some of the news that we talked about in terms of that controversy, basically freaked a lot of people out, and so the market for like a day or two kind of got fucked up.
And this is when it went huge.
And this is why I don't hold Tether for a long time. So you only do it in anticipation of a trade in the next 1 to 3 months, because you don't want to be holding it, forever. You want to be holding Bitcoin longer. But yeah, these fluctuations that are a little extreme only happen, for very short periods of time.
And it's a relatively young coin, only a couple of years old.
Yep. Well, CoinMarketCap doesn't include all the price information. If you go to Bitcoin, you can't go back to the beginning either on CoinMarketCap. So CoinMarketCap's not the best to look at long term. TradingView has a lot more exchanges that you can compare it to. But if you take a look back at CoinMarketCap to the main page, so you can see Tether is number 9 right now. Binance Coin is slowly but surely jumping up here.
Yeah, buddy.
And Greg mentioned, we should do a show on some coins and what they're about. So I'll be doing some of that on my show. We'll probably do some of that here too. But anyways, you can see the market cap of Tether is $2 billion.
What is the market cap?
So market cap is how much money is flowing through this in terms of trading volume.
So right now Bitcoin has $71 billion invested into it.
Yeah, which is lower than it was in the past. But if you go all the way to the top of the page, you can see the total market cap is about $140 billion in all of cryptocurrency.
Which is nothing.
But Bitcoin is 50% of that, Bitcoin dominance. And then Tether is about 1.5 to 2% of that, probably about 1.5, which is a lot for something that is, something basically people park their money into to protect it. If you keep going down the list, you'll see the next stable coin come up. There it is, number 27, USD coin. And if you keep going, you'll see True USD, number 32. So these coins are also pegged 1-to-1 to the US dollar, but the amount of money that they have flowing through them is a lot less. It's like 80% less. And so, Engine Coin's not a stable coin though.
No, I'm just looking.
I know you are. You get a little bit too curious, yeah? But but basically the point I'm making between comparing these stable coins is the reason why Tether is still useful, even though it has a little bit of this controversy, is that everybody's still using it. It has the most ability to make a quick trade. Whereas if you use the other stable coins, there's not enough people using them. They're too slow to be able to make a quick trade. So you're not going to be able to make a move when you want to. Is there a specific coin you're looking for?
Just seeing how the market has changed.
Yeah. A lot, right?
Big time. So yeah.
Yep. Let's see. So Adam says, do you think there will be a decent rise in the market this year? It seems to go up and down, but nothing really significant for some time. So that's actually a very interesting comment because he's saying two things. he's saying his question, but then he's also saying it seems, right? So I really love paying attention to the way people talk in crypto because it really tells you about how people feel about the market, which is one kind of indication of how you should trade. So it does seem like nothing has really been happening, but if you pay attention to it, we do have some smaller events that you can trade on. But I would agree overall, you're 100% right. So what I would say is, yes, there will be a decent rise in the market this year. We have to wait for confirmation that we are out of a bear market. And that may take the next 3 weeks to 6 months for that to happen. Once that happens, once we start making even a small uptrend, that's when things start getting interesting. But even using this strategy in the bear market, you can make things interesting. I think probably 20% of my overall profits in crypto were made through this strategy.
Yeah. And Greg says, I'm tad bit confused on forecasting, Charlie. I'm going to have to hit you up here soon.
Yep. So in terms of what are you confused? But I can show you.
I think he means like price forecasting.
Okay. Yeah, so yesterday on my show, I mentioned my long-term view on Bitcoin. I expect it to get above 100,000 US dollars within the next, probably by around 2022, 2023. And that's still not even that bullish of an estimate. I think CZ from Binance, he's thinking around $300,000.
For one Bitcoin?
Yeah.
I'm going to be rich.
Hopefully by that time, that'll be nothing to you, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
If you want to go really, conservative, I would say with it by 2023, $50,000 for one Bitcoin, and that's conservative.
Yeah.
If you want to go the opposite way and just say, oh, I'm totally against Bitcoin, then you'll say $0. But the likelihood of it going to $50,000 or to $0, if you're very, very, very conservative, I would say is 50-50. But it's never done that in its past. It's showing us. I have to go into Elliott wave theory to show you why the reasons exactly why I'm forecasting this. But I think above 100,000 USD is not that hard.
Mr. Jackson has a very interesting question for you.
Do you have an Instagram?
I've been telling you to make a fucking Instagram.
All right, I'll do that this week. Promise you, Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, I've been hounding Charlie to get on social media. He's like, I don't think it's gonna work.
No,
I'm like,
I didn't say it wasn't gonna work. The one thing, for Twitter, I really actually use crypto Twitter a lot.
Yeah.
But in Instagram, I'm like, okay, when I bought my computer in Bitcoin, I'm like, I could have Instagrammed that. But in terms of I'm not into like showing my lunch, and I think CZ even mentioned he's like, showing like what he does on a day to day, is like. I'm just kind of curious maybe what people want to see on Instagram. Do they want to see charts? Do they want to see, daily life stuff? Or I'm not.
It's a little bit of everything. Yeah. It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, but I agree. I'll get that. Taken care of.
You just gotta post. You gotta post crypto memes. Then
there you go.
Then you're gonna become meme lord like me.
Some Dogecoin guys with a marijuana joint coming out of their mouth. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, guys. We got no callers on the line, and I think that's gonna do it for today's show. You got anything else you want to say?
No, I think Greg mentioned he wants to discuss the markets. So, yeah, hit me up and we'll do that. And if anybody has any things that they want to know in future shows. So, tomorrow I will be on at 8 a.m. Eastern. Every weekday I'll be on at least at 8 a.m. Eastern. And thank you very much. And so just sign up to my newsletter.
Go to cultivatecrypto.com. It's in the chat right now.
Yep. Then you'll get a personal email from me. And then through that email, you can hit me up and we can set up a consultation. We can set up a time to talk deeply about this stuff, and I'll make you profitable.
And then, so for you guys, just so you know, there's a webinar right after this show. So if you want to join the webinar and you're a body language mastery course student, I'm going to take a quick 30-minute break, but just send an email to me, questions@modernlifedating.com. And even if you missed a webinar before, or you want to just get in, just send me an email saying you want to be in a webinar, and we're gonna make it happen right after the show. I'm gonna end the show right now. Give me 30 minutes, and we will be going live. So send me an email, hit me up. For you guys that are in the Facebook group, you guys are doing a great job. I really like seeing what's going on there. It's really growing quickly, and in 23 hours, we'll start talking about bitches again. That's right, Winston Wolf. And Winston, if you want to pop in the webinar, by all means, you're welcome as well. So, everything's going to be good there. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and we will catch you next week. Bye-bye.